greatest in the world of sports. This is Chalk Them Up.
All right, we're here with ESPN Cubs and Sox reporter Bruce Levine. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing great. So we've heard a lot about Theo Epstein the past couple of weeks. Potential to come to Chicago and leave behind Boston. What are the chances we see Theo Epstein in the front office for the Chicago Cubs?
Well, they seem to be improving every day. I think that initially Red Sox ownership had a chance to say no to this. We don't think that necessarily they have said no to him interviewing, and that he had a year contract, and they could have said, hey, you got to come back and do this. But supposedly the Cubs have asked for a position higher than what he's in right now as general manager of the Red Sox. So protocol in baseball is that you allow somebody to interview for a job that's above their level at this point. If the Cubs get a chance to interview Epstein, they're probably not going to let him go. I think they'll offer him the world, even a job as president of baseball operations, a 4 to 5 year deal, more money than he's making, with tremendous autonomy. And I think that at some point, either if Boston doesn't counter that with a more years there, he'll be left with no choice but to take this job and move out of Boston and head over to Chicago and try to make a go of it here.
In your mind, is he the best man to try and turn around this franchise? And can he do it? Can anybody do it?
I can answer that question in a year or two from now, honestly. I mean, he's won 2 world championships in Boston, but that was a function of the team. He gets credit for helping build a better minor league system there that's developed really good players. I think that more impressive than the world championships is the developing young players like Pedroia and Euclid, guys, some of the young pitchers that have come along like Buckholz. I think that's much more impressive to me than the World Championships. The World Championships are a result of them having got a lot of good players and spent through many mistakes. I mean, if you look at his mistakes and the mistakes that he's made as many as any general manager. They feel at least 5 or 6 huge multi-million-dollar mistakes that they've made on players. But the Red Sox philosophy is that they spend through that, they move up to $170, $180 million, and they go for it. And that, combined with the young players in their organization, they've been competitive. But you have to look at it. They've been a disappointment 2 out of the last 3 years, not making the playoffs. That's not a good thing. But I think Epstein, in a roundabout way, he is the right guy for the job now. They wanted one of 4 guys. They wanted either Friedman with Tampa, Cashman with the Yankees, they wanted Billy Beane with Oakland, or Epstein. If they felt they could get one of those guys, they were going to make a huge push to get him. At this time, it doesn't appear any of the other 3 are going to be available. And Epstein is exactly what they want. They want someone young, energetic, accomplished, coming in here and talking about a new day, and that'll buy them a little bit of a time. But a complete turnaround in a year or so with what they have in their system right now really doesn't seem very realistic.
You're listening to Chalk Them Up on WPGU 107.1. We're here with ESPN Chicago Cubs and Sox reporter Bruce Levine. Bruce, can you shed some light on Terry Francona and what that breakup was really about? Was Epstein involved heavily in it, and is it possible that we could see a marriage once again down the road now that both of them could potentially be available?
I think you could. I don't know if Tito wants to take a team that really isn't geared to win for this year coming into the next season. Do you want to have been fired by your previous team and he did step aside, but in this day and age, it's a no vote of confidence that usually has you set aside, and that's why he stepped down, because in fact there was no vote of confidence for him there any longer. He took the blame for it. He took the fall for it. He was, he's a scapegoat for what hadn't occurred properly in the organization. There were injuries and all kinds of things that occurred why the Red Sox didn't end up in that postseason. But nonetheless, I can see a scenario where he ends up with the Cubs, but maybe not this year. they have a manager in place, if they don't think they can win right away, they can keep Quaddy going into next season and use him as a protective shield for 3 or 4 months. If things don't work out, they can always fire him down the line, bring someone in term, and when they consider themselves more ready to compete in 2013, they could bring out a Francona or somebody of that ilk. I do believe that they will eventually get the manager they want, but I don't know if it's the right move for Francona right now.